Hey guys, welcome back to Colson Critters. I'm Colson Smith, and in today's video, we're going to be turning this ugly Crested Gecko cage into this beautiful vivarium. But before we get into today's video, I do want to say we hit 5,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I did promise that we'd be doing a giveaway at 5K. I do have to figure out what I'm wanting to give away. I'm not really too sure yet. So if you have any suggestions, be sure to comment them down below. So we will be doing a giveaway very, very shortly. Yeah, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay, to start off with, this is what we are working with. All the plants died, pretty much everything died in the tank, which was a huge bummer. But we're going to start by ripping everything out. And then I just started adding some plants in. I can't remember the names of the plants that I have, so I'll put them on the screen if I remember them. But there's this really cool pink and green one that I have that I put up toward the top of the tank. I read that this one needed higher light, and then the other two that I used in the tank are lower light species. And one of them is a fern, and the other one, I can't remember the name either, but I'll pop it up at the screen. I was trying to organize some wood pieces in here. Wasn't too sure whether or not I wanted to put this one in there or not. I didn't eventually end up using this one, but I just wanted to incorporate some pieces of wood into the tank. Okay, then I added this giant fern to the tank. It was a little too big when I added it in there, so I decided to break it in half. Don't worry, I didn't waste any of the plant. I decided to use it for my next Crested Gecko build, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It went into my 18 by 18 by 18 Crested Gecko tank. I broke it up so that way it would fit in the tank a little better and give the plant a little more space to grow. So I went ahead and just mist down the whole cage after this, and then I added some cork bark. I wanted to incorporate some cork bark or some piece of wood into the tank. So I found this really cool cork bark piece that I had in the last setup and just kind of moved it around until I found the spot that I liked it the best. Okay, next I needed to add this last plant. It ended up being a little bit tall, so I went ahead and broke this one in half as well. As I mentioned before, no, we didn't waste any of the plant. I did use it. I haven't used it yet, but I've repotted it, and I'm going to be using it in a future Crested Gecko cage as well. My 18 by 18 by 18 Crested Gecko cage. This one here is a 12 by 18 by 12 Crested Gecko cage. 18 tall, 12 wide, and 12 long. Okay, after I decided where I wanted these plants, I was kind of debating whether or not I want the fern on the right side or on the left side. I ended up just sticking with it on the left side. There was another plant that I had that was a white with green leaves on it. I decided not to use it, but I did. I will be using it in the other Crested Gecko cage. I went and stuck with the pink one. I felt like it was too much. If I added a fourth plant to the tank, it would be too much, and you couldn't really have room for any of the plants to grow. It would just be very cluttered. So I decided to use it for the next tank. Okay, next things next, I decided to add some sphagnum moss up into the top plant up there, just to keep it moist and humid. I put sphagnum moss pretty much throughout the whole thing. If you're wondering, this tank was set up, like the background and all that was made in a previous video. I'll have linked in the description. It was one of my other Crested Gecko videos I made. But yeah, and then I made the substrate as well in there, so you can see what kind of substrate I've made. Okay, after that, I decided to give the whole cage a good mist down, making the plants still kind of wet and moist, just spraying everything down, keeping it nice and humid. Okay, now it's time to add our Crested Gecko. I don't actually think I have a name for this guy yet, so comment down some name suggestions down in the comments below. But yeah, he decided to just jump straight onto this plant immediately, and I think he loves it. So I decided to just show like what I feed the crested geckos. I ran out of these containers, so I have to use the old one. But it just had Pangea fruit mix in it before, so I mean, it's I just rinsed it out a little bit, and we should be good to go. What I do feed is Pangea fruit mix. I just put it in this little container here. I take about, for the 2 bigger ones, so those of you that don't know, I do have 3 crested geckos. 2 females, and then 1 that's too small, I can't really tell yet. What I do for them is the 2 bigger ones get about a spoonful each. And then for the little guy, I give him about a half a spoonful. I kind of just eyeball it every time. I don't really have like a set amount. Then I take this little wooden stick thing I have here. I can't remember what these are called. I have a bunch of them from my dad. He works at a frame shop, or he owns a frame shop, so he gets these for pretty cheap, and he just gave me a packet of them. So I go ahead and I add water to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add some water now. Okay, then after I add some water, I just go ahead and mix it all together. And then I add water as needed. Okay, so then I basically add water till it gets a consistency like this. And then for the little guy, I'm trying to make his a little bit thicker than the others, just because the way his background is designed, where I keep the food at, it is at an angle like this, so I don't want it to leak all over the cage. So I'll make it a little bit thicker than the other 2. And then there's also not as much in here, so it won't leak out really, but just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and mix them all. I just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Crested Gecko doesn't really care too much what the consistency is, but I don't like it to make it super watery. Okay, then after I'm done mixing it together and it looks like this, I go ahead and add it to their tanks. So this is the cage we just redid. Here he is, ready for some food. So I have this little cutout thing that I made in styrofoam, or in spray foam. So I go ahead and just plop that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab him and put him up here just so you can see him eating. Alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. Also hit the thumbs up button so that way I can make more videos like this, and subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, peace!